Hey guys, this is Red and Blue, your channel on YouTube for all things PSG in English. Please subscribe. Today, we are hours away from PSG's opener in the Ligue 1 Champion League this year. And so there's a bit of news to share. I've got 3 points to discuss, so I'll just jump right in and go straight into it. I think the first one is the starting 11s for the game. And there's a lot of uncertainty actually in terms of which players are going to play. Not at all on the Nantes side. Both Le Parisien and L'Équipe are very aligned, and should be the starting 11 for Nantes, which isn't big surprise. I think that's basically the ones that I gave you already yesterday. So really no drama there. The only uncertainty that seems resolved is Coquelin, who'd be starting in the game. So yeah, pretty much as expected, honestly. In terms of PSG, though, that's where we really I love Luis Enrique, because literally no one has a clue what he's gonna do, even hours before the game. Where both L'Équipe and Le Parisien agree is that there's gonna be a lot of turnover. Where they don't agree is who's gonna be turning over and who's gonna be playing. They do agree, both Le Parisien and L'Équipe, that Chevalier is gonna be in goal, that Zabarni and Pacho are gonna be playing in defense. Both of them agree as well that Ruiz and Zaire Emery will be on the pitch, but in different position. And both agree that Mbaye, Ramos will also be there. Doué, same thing as Zaire Emery and Ruiz, they've got him in different position. So you've got on screen, you've got the one from Le Parisien, which is, Zaire Emery in right back, Beraldo left back, Ruiz in that number 6 Vitinha position, Doué and Kangin Lee in front of him, and then in attack, Mbaye on the left, Ramos in the middle, and Barcola on the right. Which, that's what they've got in mind. I think it makes a lot of sense. And then L'Équipe, just to contrast, L'Équipe has Chevalier in goal. They've got Hernandez at left back. They do have Hakimi at right back. Then in the midfield, they've got Ruiz, Vitinha playing his spot in number 6, and Zaire Emery. So the same, essentially minus Joe Neves, the starting midfield, I would say. And then they've got Mbaye on the left, Ramos in the middle in attack, and Doué on the right. So Doué playing one step up. And so no Barcola. I mean, ultimately, the short of it is that one, journalists don't really know what's going to happen. But yeah, there's a few certainties in terms of players rotating. Personally, yeah, I don't know. It's really, really hard to say, obviously. I'd be a little bit surprised if Luis Enrique rotated all the way to what Le Parisien has, which feels very, very, very rotated. And I mean, it's not impossible because we don't have a summer prep and so on. Players are in very dubious physical fitness. So it's not impossible, but it feels to me that it probably mix in a few more starters. But yeah, one way or the other, we're going to get a very experimental starting 11. I still hold by what I said yesterday, which is that even with a squad like the one you've got on screen, the very rotated Le Parisien one, it does feel that this squad has more than enough in the tank to be able to beat Nantes. So very much hoping that's what we're going to see. And yeah, it's going to be our first game anyway, so we'll see what happens. No drama either way, but yeah, I think we should be able to get away with a win. And yeah, we'll see who Luis Enrique decides to play when the starting 11s get announced. Second thing for this game, we just revealed our third jersey for the season, which I'm showing you on screen. This is the red kind of T90 style, which is very reminiscent of the jerseys that we had in the early 2000s. It's got a bit of a retro vibe with the PSG badge in the middle on top. You can see above the T. The very red jersey. We've had a few times in our history as well. Most recently, I think we had it in 2015 or something like this. We had a very red jersey. I think it was our away jersey that year. And yeah, it is part of our history. I think historically, like the PSG jersey is the Echter jersey with the blue, white, red, white, blue. The away jersey typically is the Echter reversed, but there's been a lot of historical jerseys. I think the first jersey of PSG was all red, if I remember correctly. We've had the ones with the vertical stripe kind of to the side a little bit, including one from the 70s that they reedited last year. So all of this to say that it is in keeping with the PSG story. It is a nice nod to like the 90s, early 2000s. It looks kind of cool, honestly. Like I kind of dig it. The retro vibes like really kind of speaks to me. I think the red is very, very bright, I'd say. So I don't know, like, obviously not sure you'd be wearing that to the office or to a hot date or anything like this. But yeah, otherwise, like, looks pretty cool. They've actually released it as well. I was looking like on the website. You can find it with and without the star of the Champions League. So there is a version with a little like stylish star with the Tour Eiffel shape above the badge of the club. So yeah, just go to the website of PSG, like the store there. Like you can definitely find it. I'm pretty sure like on Nike.com as well. It's gonna be everywhere. And yes, that's going to be the jersey that we're going to be wearing for the game against Nantes. And yeah, it kind of, one more jersey announced. So we know like the first one is the one with a sort of stylish Eiffel Tower motif on the classic Echter look. The away jersey, we're keeping the same one from last year with also like the white jersey with the big Eiffel Tower graphic thing, which is also like in my mind really cool. I really need to cop this one at some point. So this would be the third, and then the fourth for the Champions League hasn't been announced yet. Are they going to keep the wings or not, which became kind of legendary last year? We don't know. I think like typically we're going to get the announcement and we'll see that jersey for the start of the Champions League season in September. So wait a bit longer for this one. But yeah, like, so far pretty solid year in terms of jerseys, I've got to say. Like usually there's always, one or two that I really don't like at all. So far, like this season, yeah, everything is looking pretty good. Actually, let me know in the comment not only like what you think of this one, but out of the three jerseys that we know and we've seen, like which is the one that you'd buy first and you'd get first, and which is the one you prefer. Cool. And on to the third topic of the day. And I wanted to touch base on this, even if it's not finalized just yet, but there's a lot of chatter in terms of transfer. And there's a lot of chatter in terms of players on their way out. And it's interesting because we've seen a tweet from, the ultimate PSG insider on Twitter, which is called Jamel. Who's usually like, the guy in the world who knows best what's going on with PSG. And he tweeted, I think, day before yesterday, that the club was now like really focusing on getting rid of the excess players and just wanted to conclude the business of pushing players out before potentially looking at anything else and looking at players on the way in. Luis Enrique was also asked about it in his press conference against the Nantes game and said essentially the same thing, which is that, he's very happy with the squad. Like players are very versatile and can play different positions. So we've got a good group of players to look at. And at the same time, we're always evaluating opportunities and seeing what's in the market and so on and so forth. And what we're hearing right now is two players who might be on their way out in the next few hours. Kolo Muani, we finally might have a deal with Juventus. Finally. I feel like I've done 24 videos on Kolo Muani already, so I'll be happy to see him out. What we're hearing only in Italian media. We don't have a French confirmation just yet, but Italian media is saying that there's essentially a deal in place between the two clubs on the basis of a loan costing Juve 10 million for the year, so they pay us 10 million for that loan, plus 45 million to be paid automatically, assuming Juve qualifies for the Champions League next year. Not impossible. They didn't. I don't think they qualified this year. Like they're like literally on the line of qualification in Italy. So we'll see if they do or not. But yeah, like could be a deal worth 55 million for Kolo Muani. Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, we might have been able to get more money out of an English club, but none of them really went that far in for the player. Kolo Muani himself was very set on going back to Juve. So this might be the best deal in the table anyway, and 55 million overall. Like, yeah, honestly, like it's not that bad of a deal. We lose a little bit of money, but we essentially fall straight on the line of how much money we had left to amortize in terms of the deal. So it feels like not the best deal of all times, obviously, but we had made like such a blunder in bringing him in for such a big amount that there was no way to get out of it in a good way anyway. So this we'll have to do for now. We'll see if we get confirmation from the French media, but yeah, like Italian media is pretty unanimous that it's a done deal. So hopefully it should get confirmed in the coming hours / coming days. And then the other one, which is kind of out of nowhere because we hadn't heard a lot about the player, Nordi Mukiele, was our substitute right fullback, who was on loan to Bayer Leverkusen all of last year. Looks like we found a deal with English team Sunderland, who just got promoted back into the Premier League, and they'd be buying the player for 12 million euro. Which is a godsend because it's a player that we brought in for 10 million euros. So we'd actually be making money out of a player who's not wanted in PSG. It feels crazy, and just goes on to show like how English team have just like ridiculous money to spend in this mercato. We're talking about a team who just got promoted back to Premier League and can afford to spend for a player like this. Best for them. He's a good player, honestly. Like I rank him pretty high. The rumors that we had heard was that he was partying a little bit too much for Luis Enrique's taste, and so like that kind of attitude just didn't sit well with the coach, and that's why Luis Enrique put him on his blacklist anyway. But yeah, like if we can make a little bit of money out of him, like he's going to England, which makes sense for a very physical player, very versatile as well. Yeah, it feels like a pretty good deal for all involved. He's actually like right now in England and going through his medical probably today. So we should get the officialization happening like either later on today or tomorrow at latest, I think, unless there's a last minute surprise. But that could be a player that we're done with. We still have a few other to sell. Renato Sanchez. We have Usni as well. And yeah, we've got a couple of Spanish player like Soler, and yeah, so there's still a bit of business to be done for us, a few players to push out, but with those two done, it's essentially like it's looking relatively good for us. And yeah, personally, I wouldn't be completely surprised if we start hearing rumors again of players on their way into PSG. Personally, like I would do think that we could use one or two more recruits for us this season. So we'll see how the next few days, few weeks pan out. There's still a couple of weeks in the mercato anyway, and the last few weeks always gets crazy. So we'll definitely keep you posted on all of this craziness as it unfolds. Cool. That's what I had for you today. That was my little news wrap up of the day, PSG Daily, the things you needed to know. And now it's all about the game against Nantes and how we're going to be playing in this beautiful new red jersey. So stay tuned for that. We'll do a debrief of the game after it happens anyway. And yeah, I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about just looking at the potential starting 11s. So I'm really looking forward to that. For now, please like this video, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of future video. And yeah, leave a comment on what you think of our jerseys and which one is our favorite one. And don't forget, between Nantes and Paris, ici c'est Paris!